I've been thinking about making a more detailed video about this later. Like, this is not exactly hair related. Well, it kind of is. I think it's kind of health related. Besides, like, my crown breaking, like, I do have one tooth that I bit on a chip and it cracked. So that's painful. Oh boy, taking care of that on Sunday. But otherwise, like, I think health walking is very good for you. And I used to do this little blog called The Pedestrian Walking Life, where I just talked about my adventures walking and biking around Southern California. And I want to kind of, I don't know, I felt like I could make a more detailed video about this, but it's a pretty simple concept. People say that you can't get around in Southern California without a car. And I say that's not true because I've done it all my life. Because I just never wanted to drive. I thought I'd address this because somebody made a comment on one of my videos. So anyway, yeah, I tried driving. I hated it. I was a nervous driver. And then I came to the conclusion I never wanted to drive. Does that sound weird to some people? In car-centric Southern California, yeah, it does. But in other places, like, you can take public transportation. In other places, even if people have cars, they walk. And I think it's just kind of weird how everything is just based on a car all the time here in California. Like, I know most people want to drive, but the thing I always thought was silly was, like, there was no room for diversity of opinions on this, okay? Like, if you didn't want to drive, people just had, like, the biggest fit about it. And then they were always like, oh, but public transportation is really bad in California. And then I started thinking about it recently, and actually, no, it's pretty, like, good. Like, especially in the Inland Empire in LA, it's pretty good. And we have Uber so, like, if you don't want to drive, you can get around. It takes longer. People who don't drive, I think you have to be good with directions, okay? That's one thing. You can never get lost. But I know people who do drive and they have the worst sense of direction. Like, and they get lost all the time, and I have never got lost. And actually, when I was like 9, I helped my mom get back from Disneyland one time because she would take the wrong way. And I just always had a really good sense of direction. I just don't like being behind the wheel. But one thing about me that probably seems funny, and some people are like, well, why would you want to do this? I signed up to be in the driverless car trial, but then it never came to California. That, I think, is cool. I'm always into new technology. Like, I like the idea that there could be driverless cars in the future. I'm a big supporter of, like, trains and Uber and things like that. Like, I love that stuff because I feel like if you don't want to drive, there are options for you. And I feel like not driving sometimes builds, like, character, punctuality. Like, people who drive, they're very reliant on always getting somewhere fast. And they don't have patience. They don't have punctuality. Like, there's certain things about walking where you have to plan your day better. Some things are not always the best. Like, don't buy 50 pounds of groceries, okay? But I think health-wise, it's good because you don't pay for a gym membership. And I used to think it was kind of funny. Like, people were like, oh my gosh, like, my car's broken. How am I going to get to the gym? I'm like, why don't you go for a walk? Like, okay, if you're into bodybuilding and, like, some sort of, like, really intense physical fitness, like, regime, my thoughts on walking probably don't work for you. But walking, I just feel like it's the best thing. But all I'm going to say is, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain right now because my back crown cracked. Like, I ate a chip Thursday night and it cracked. And I've been trying to not think about the pain and just be like, blah, 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 and not think about it. But it's pretty intense, buddies. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about why I think walking's fun. And, like, there's not a lot of diversity on opinions in California about it because I think people in California are just so car-centric, probably in America too, but you definitely can get around without a car in Southern California. You just have to, like, plan your routes better. You have to be good with directions, and you have to just be patient. Like, when you want to leave somewhere, you leave 2 hours earlier, and it really it's actually a good thing, and you can use public transportation, you can use Uber, you can get around. So I kind of just wanted to do this little video to like kind of let go of the fallacy that, oh, you can't get around anywhere like without a car. That's not true. What people are saying is it's not as convenient for them, because when you have a car, people say it's more convenient, but there were things about car ownership that never appealed to me. Okay, car payment, I never wanted one. Driving, I don't like driving because it made me feel nervous a few times I tried, and I never was one of those people that like dreamed of having a car. I just like walking, and a long time ago I just decided, why am I pushing myself to do something that wouldn't make me happy? And driving is something that would never make me happy, and I'm so happy not driving, and it bothers a lot of people, but I'm like, why does it bother you? Why? You know, sometimes when you're walking there are weird things that happen, yes, but that can happen to people driving too. So I feel like, yeah, if you don't want to drive, it is possible, even in Southern California. I just had to say that. Maybe I'll make more of a bigger video about it later on, talking about it. But I had my old blog where I used to kind of discuss it. It's not a super popular topic because I think this is very niche. But anyway, thanks for watching.